So over here, this is the intermediate lesson plan, and we're going to start by the first station doing a lunge, and we're going to work on a lever, and then we're going to do and come back up, and then we'll do a really nice teeter-totter and come back up. And they should do a few on each side. First one lever, then one teeter-totter. That's station one. For station number two, they're going to work on their lever forward roll. So they're going to stand in a lunge. They're going to do their lever. They're going to stretch back up, and then they'll do their lever, hold it, look at their belly and roll, and stand up. Nice. The next station, over here for station three, they're working on lifting their leg up really high and bringing it out to the side and back to the front and out to the side and back to the front, and tell them to try to keep their hips forward and square. Then they're going to come to the next station, which is going to be the Thera-Band. At the Thera-Band, they're going to put both of the loops around one foot, and then they're going to put the other loop around the other foot so that it's in half. And here they're going to work on the second half of that same drill. So they're going to stand in a lunge, they're going to point their toe behind them, and then they're going to lift up and bring their leg to the side and back to the back and back to the side, and then they're going to switch to the other side. I think it's fine if they start from a straight leg too, Coach Brianna.
Yeah.
Either way is fine. So that's the station number four. And then the last station, they're going to work on, they're going to go to the wall. So the last station is by the wall with the bucket, and they're going to stand in a lunge with their arms by their ears, and they're going to work on their letter T. And they're going to grab the ball, and then they're going to take their letter T and turn it sideways against the wall, hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put the ball back in the bucket and come back to lunge. And they'll try that on both sides. So setting them up for their side handstand dismounts in the circuit, also setting them up to have really nice levers and arabesques. Great, so for the bar circuit, they're mostly working on casting drills. So here on the first bar, they're going to do their pullover, and then when they get to the top of the bar, they're going to try to do with really nice straight elbows a little rock forward to hollow and back. 3 times they'll rock forward, back, forwards, back, then they'll come down and they'll try it again. The next bar is both bars together. They're going to come to the first bar and put their hands on the bar. They're going to jump to front support, and they're going to cast, and they're going to try to swing their legs out to the second bar, and maybe watch where you're going to let them know to watch behind them before they start, so that they make sure that they're lined up with the mat, so that their legs hit the mat. That's just so that so it doesn't hurt them quite as much. Good. And you can lift the bar higher. The goal should be that it should be very hard for them to hit the mat, but doable, so it feels good. On the next station, they're just going to work on their plank shape for a hollow body position. So Coach Brianna's a little taller, so she'll do it on the floor, but we'll put the alligator mat there for people who need it. So you're going to go into your plank position, and you're going to touch your nose all the way to the ball. So that's a really nice plank, and then you'll pick up your head and come out of your plank and go back into your plank and come out of it. And you can have a little conversation with the girls about a hollow body and a plank position. What are some things we should tell them, Coach Brianna? Their rib cage should come
all the way up to the ceiling, pulling your rib cage all the way in, and getting your shoulders by your ears.
Yeah, that's some good things, squeezing their butt. Over here on the next station, they're going to put their hands on the bar, and their feet are going to go into the frisbee. Now, they have to get into a really nice hollow and hold that hollow. And they do want to make sure to tell them, don't pike up with the frisbee. Just do tiny little moves forward and back, holding that hollow shape with your frisbee. And some of them might be able to bring their frisbee more in because they can bring their shoulders far over their hands, and some of them won't really be able to move it at all without losing the plank shape. The next station over here, they're going to work a little bit on their casts again. They're going to put their hands on the P-bars, their feet on top of the mat. Make sure to stack their shoulders right on top of their hands, or a little, Coach Brown, you can even bring your hands behind your shoulders. So where they were before, yeah, a little behind. And then they are going to work on little jumps, squeezing their feet together, jumping up to the mat, And if those feel good, they can do a few on the higher surface, and then they can move it away and do some on a little bit of a lower surface, which can be a little bit tougher. Make sure that their shoulders are either stacked right on top of their hands or in front of them, which would even be a little more difficult. Good, that's perfect. And then on the last station for the trampoline, they're gonna work on holding a really nice tight plank position, which they need that nice hollow body for their cast. And they're just gonna do some hops all the way forwards. They can get all the way to the end of the trampoline, nice and tight and slow, and then they can start working their way back. Good. And that is it for the front and back circuits for the intermediate. So for the last 15 minutes of class, we are going to work on our cartwheels, and we have a big circuit of cartwheel drills. And it's really great because it goes straight in from what we were working on being with them. So on the first station, they're going to grab the bunny with their feet and try to bring him outside of prison. And then they can jump back in, grab the second bunny, and free the second bunny from prison. And then they can actually put the bunnies back into prison. You don't have to show us, Brianna, but they can grab the bunny with their feet and they can put them back in prison and, you know, free them again. Then they can come to the blue and purple mat and stand on top in a nice big lunge. They should be reaching their hands really far away from their feet. So tell them to put their feet on the blue mat and their hands all the way at the edge of the purple mat to make the longest cartwheel they've ever made and finish in a lunge. Maybe we should put the little yellow mat at the edge right behind that, so in case they shouldn't hit the wall and get hurt. Over here, they're going to sit with one knee on the floor, and they're going to work on their heel drive while they turn sideways for their cartwheel. So hands go on the hands sideways, and they kick as hard as they can into a teeter-totter. And they should try 3 on each side. Then they're going to come to the Brianna beam, and they are going to cartwheel off of it. So they'll stand in a lunge right in front of the red panel mat, So move forward, Coach Brianna, because your hands are going to go on the mat. They're going to reach for the end of the red panel mat, and they're going to do a cartwheel, land on the floor in a lunge. Beautiful. And over here, they're going to start with their arms down with the bean bags. It's an optional station if you want to add at the end. And you can have them lunge over the small beam and then lever forward and drop the bean bags in the bucket. Okay, so if you need an extra station, you can add this in. Like to do a lunge on the green line, hands on the green line, and cartwheel land on the purple mat, stretch up. Beautiful. And then they're going to be very careful with how they get to the next station because there are going to be people working on the blue mat. So they're going to say, can I get through? And then on the last station for the trampoline, they're going to do, it's not the last station, but for the trampoline, they're going to do cartwheel from one knee. So cartwheel from our knee right here, stretch up, nice. And then we're gonna come to the bars and we're gonna work on 2 different leg drills. The first bar, they're gonna put their hands on the bar, make sure their elbows are straight, and they're gonna work on leg swings. So their leg is gonna swing forwards and back behind them. Forwards and back behind them. And after doing 3 on one side, they'll do 3 on the other side. So over here we're going to do some straddle jumps. So we're going to start feet together and jump, point toes, come back. And then on the next bar, we're going to just do some jumps over the bar. So hands on the bar, 1 foot over, step over and back, over and back.